let's dive in. We're talking CMAs, more conversations. How do we close more business? How do we use the last 90 days of this year to ramp up and either end strong or just ensure that Q1 and Q2 are as strong as we can possibly make them, right? We either are going to wait around for that phone to ring, which we know is not the right thing to do, or we're going to go out there and we're going to create the market. We're going to create more conversations. We are going to put ourselves in a position that's going to allow us to hopefully get more listings or just be the agent of choice in our local market, wherever that may be. So today, of course, we're going to go through, we've talked about, Tom Ferry's method before of the average or how many conversations does it take to lead to an actually closed deal. And it's a little eye-opening because we realize that we have to talk more to more people and have those conversations and almost push ourselves, not almost, for most of us, we have to push ourselves out of our comfort zone so that we can have those conversations. But also, I believe that we as humans overcomplicate things just from experience. So it's almost simplifying your business and not making it so complicated. So I'm actually going to share with you guys a couple of templates on here in Canva that I've used and others and part of our learning experience that you guys can take advantage of, or however you want to use those in your business. But I'll share with those as well. But they're very simple ways. So when we talk about CMAs, we're not just talking about that, whether you pull it from RPR or another source, wherever you're pulling these CMAs, we tend to think that they have to be like a book, several pages, inside of a 3-ring binder or something like that. And that's what I mean by we typically overcomplicate the process. So if we simplify that prospecting process of these CMAs, we can get more out a lot quicker, and we are able to get a better response for those homeowners or whoever we are actually sending those through. So before we dive in, EOG team, do you guys want to do a little intro? I know I did a little prequel there. If you guys want to dive.
I will. Hi guys, I'm Kimberly Welch. I'm with Escrow Options Group. I just want to start out saying thank you so much for joining our training this morning. We really appreciate you guys being on this education class today. The things about EOG that definitely sets us aside from some of the other companies out there is we are continually trying to help you guys build your business, build your brand, and educate yourself. So I'm sure Yasmin and Michael can tell you some great things about the company, and I'm going to let them do that in a minute. But we just wanted you guys to know this was built as a way to give you access. We know out there the market's shifted this year. It's been a little harder to try and get listings, buyers, so many changes in the contract, so many different changes with how we do business in general. And that is why EOG University is here. It's to try and help you guys navigate and educate you to being able to take some of these tools out there and utilize them to expand, the amount of listings, buyers, your brand, so on and so forth. So again, thank you. We do this almost every Monday. I'm not sure what rep you signed with, but most of us are all sending out emails. So we just want to make sure that you guys have access. This is at no cost. Feel free to invite other agents, your affiliates. We just want to say thanks so much. We appreciate you. Maybe Yasmin or Michael would like to chime in right now too.
I'll say something really quick. Yes, happy Monday to everybody and welcome aboard. Kimberly basically said everything that I wanted to say, but I do want to mention that they also have a YouTube channel, EOG University. In case you can't make this meeting on Mondays, I encourage you to, because you can ask Justin real questions in real time. But if you can't make this meeting, you can go on the YouTube channel and check out the past meetings. And there's been some really, really, really good ones. If you've missed, go back and take a look at all of them. And I'm the rep for Orange County for Escrow Options Group. And thank you guys for coming on board. I really appreciate you. And I'll hand it over to Yasmin.
Hey everybody, good morning. Great to be here. Good to see everybody. And yes, we're here to support you. And if you haven't used us before, we would love the opportunity to work with you. Today's topic is really, really amazing. And Justin Taylor, he runs our EOG University trainings. And as you know, he's really well versed and he's really well trained on all this information and all the ways we can become better with our social media and all the technology, that we're out there, trying to, probably we don't have the time or money to invest in to start. But some of the topics in the past that are recorded, like Michael said, we have for example, 5 AI tools you can use in your business, 9 ways agents should leverage data in 2023. We got a class on ChatGPT, Google Business, for your profile, and lots of great classes. And we're very fortunate to have Justin and to teach us all this great information. And with that, I'll let Justin take it away.
Awesome, guys. I appreciate you so much. And yeah, welcome everyone. Happy you guys could make it to another training. Like we talked about today is all about prospecting and CMAs. How can you get in front of more people, more homeowners, right? So quick stat here, because I'm all about statistics and data, and I swear in another life I was supposed to be an engineer or something, but I've learned to love it because it's never steered me in a wrong way, and data really is the path to kind of see what direction that you need to go in. As always, if you guys have questions as we go through this, please just unmute yourself or throw it in the comment box. I'm happy to answer as we go along here. But a stat that I came across, I've been reading a lot about different psychology things and sales and all that stuff, but 92% of people who attend trainings, motivational speaking events, or consuming content, 92% actually never take action. 92% never take action. So only 8%. And I don't want that to be today. I know that's not our group here, right? We're not going to fall into that 92%. We are going to be the strong ones. We are going to be the 8% that's going to take a note or something that resonates with you today and actually implement it into your business. And I hope that you take a look at these CMAs, these simple CMAs, and just try it, right? My goal always, you've been on my trainings before maybe, but I've been in licensed since 2016. I've been a sales manager for the #1 team here in Arizona at the time. I've been on the lending side. Obviously, I've been on the escrow and title side now. But my goal, because I've seen the pain points, I understand how much is thrown at us, how much is on our plate. We are running our own business. We're 15 different departments in one person. So I'm always trying to find simple ways that you guys can take action that will hopefully put you in a position to have more conversations, to be in front of more people that may possibly lead to additional transactions so that you can grow your business. So 92%, right? We are not going to be that 92%. You are going to be in the top 8% that actually takes action for that you learn, or new trainings or anything in your business. So let's go ahead and dive in. Easy ways to generate more listings with simple CMA. Before we dive into the actual CMA part, I want to talk about having more conversations. We spoke about this a little bit earlier this year, I think when we first launched EOG University, but having more conversations always leads to more business. Okay, so research shows that the average real estate sales professional requires 50 conversations to close one deal. Kind of sounds substantial, right? So when you kind of work the data backwards, we know that we need to have 50, it depends on each market, right? Average 50 conversations to close one deal. So my question before we actually dive in is, how many transactions do you want to close in 2024? And maybe take that a step back, right? How many transactions did you want to close in 2023, and where are you at year to date? So throw it in the chat box real quick. Have you reached, or will you reach your goal in 2023? How many transactions did you want to close in 2023? Hopefully, the end of 2022, you had a business plan, you wrote down your goals, right? We have to do that because we are running our own business. We have to kind of get out of the employee mindset of I'm just going to kind of go through the year and see what happens, right? We need to have goals, and then we need to be able to take action on the goals. So in the chat box, how many transactions did you want to close in 2023? And I'm going to pause to see. We're all about participation, right? How many did you want to close this year? Now, we understand that there's things with the market, there's a lot of outside factors, but we can, within, my life before this was retail, we always said we can only control what's in our four walls, right? So we can only control what's in our four walls. But how many transactions do you want to close in 2024? And we have to multiply that by the average of 50 transactions. So I'm going to give you guys an example here. Does anybody want to throw in what they would like to close in 2024? 12, Sarah said 12. I love it. One a month, okay? Anybody else want to share? Who else has goals? Let's start with that. Who else has goals? Okay, so we're going to come through here and we're going to multiply. This little thing will work here. And close that. Okay, so let's assume we're going to go big. Okay, if you've ever read the 10X rule, you gotta set big goals, and that way you don't minimize your opportunities. Okay, so more conversations. You have to multiply. Let's go with an example of 36 transactions, and you'd multiply 36 by 50, and that isn't correct on here. So we're gonna stick with 18 because that's what I've got the math on here. So let me come back here real quick, guys. All right, so 36. All right, so we're gonna go with 18, which is still substantial. Actually, this is why calculators were invented. All right, so we're gonna stick with 36. 36. And we're gonna present. All right, so 36 transactions multiplied by 50 conversations, that's 1,800 conversations, right? Someone said I'm part-time, I like to do 6. I love it, perfect. We have a goal, right? So how do we get there? So multiply that, whatever your guys' goal is, you can write this on a piece of paper or your phone, however you want to do it. But for this example, 36 times 50 conversations, that's 1,800 conversations for the year. Sounds substantial, right? But we got to divide that by the months and days that we're actually going to be working. So you need 1,800 conversations to achieve your goal, and you need to spread them out throughout the year. So the next step is to divide that number by 10 months. And the reason why we do 10 months instead of 12 months is because we are human and we need to be realistic, right? We're approaching the holidays. We take a little bit of time off. You have vacations, whatever it may be. So we're going to be a little bit more conservative and say divide that by 10 months. So once we do that, this click can work. So 1,800 divided by 10 months, that's 180 conversations per month. Okay, it's getting a little bit easier, a little bit more digestible in that sense. Okay, so 180 conversations a month, but now we need to divide that number by 20 days. Again, we're not going to do the full month or 30 days or 31 days or whatever it may be, because we have to allow some breathing room for that much needed personal time, right? There's always, we're taking time off to be with family, whatever it may be. So you got 180 conversations for the month. You're going to divide that by 20 work days, and that's 9 conversations a day. Now, does that seem a lot easier or approachable than maybe 1,800, right? So if we do 9 conversations a day, maybe it's an open house, maybe it's the CMAs that we're going to be talking about today. Maybe you're hitting the phones and you're calling people, right? It's all about prospecting. They're not just going to necessarily come to us with very little marketing, right? We have to go out and create the market. If you want to achieve your goals, we have to go out and create that market. So 9 conversations every workday to reach your goal. And here's the kicker though. Say you miss a day, say you're sick or you're just having an off day. It's okay to have an off day. We all have an off day, and you're just going to try again tomorrow, right? You're just going to start over and be back on track. So if you miss a day, the next day, now you have 18 conversations. Those 9 conversations just don't go away, right? You got to add those in because that's the only way we're going to end up reaching the goals if we go through this method here, okay? So 9 conversations a day, you miss a day, you're going to now have 18 conversations. What are those different conversations that you may have? Well, that could be, again, calling your database, using the Ford method, right? Having those conversations, calling past clients, talking to neighbors, door knocking, open houses. I've literally been in a drive-through a Starbucks or taking my order, and I had my old school realtor name tag on, and she's like, I just got pre-approved through Wells Fargo. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Congratulations. So I need to find a condo, right? That's a conversation. Guess what? Within 60 days, I sold her a condo. Okay, so you never know where you're going to have these conversations, which is, a token to a traditional method of just a name tag, right? That creates conversations in there. But you never know where these conversations necessarily come from. Maybe you're getting your hair done and you're talking to your hairstylist and she just spoke to someone that's looking for a home and now she's going to try to connect you, right? It's just having more intentional conversations throughout your day that can equal these 9, okay, these 9 average. Now, again, this was with a big goal of 36 transactions for the year, right? That's a big goal. So if you're going for the 12, that's less conversations, right? A lot easier to get there. Maybe you were part-time, you're doing 6, right? But if we use data and we work the math backwards, we now have a pathway to get there, okay? Again, to recap, whatever your goal is or in transactions, you're going to multiply that by 50. Okay, the average is 50 to a closing. Okay, and you're going to get that number, and then you're going to divide that by 10 months, and then you're going to divide that by 20 days once you get that month, and then that is your daily conversation number that you would need to hit every day. As you can see, when you break it down, it's a lot easier. You can get there a lot easier. Let's talk about the CMA Day Challenge. This is the time. The Q4 is probably my favorite quarter throughout the year. Okay, a lot of people are stressed because they're like, how am I going to get there? But this is the time that we are working on our business to make it better, implement those processes, look at our branding, look at our marketing strategy, create our new business plan, revamp everything. The last quarter not only determines how we end the year, but ultimately determines the beginning of our year, Q1 and Q2. It has the biggest impact. So what we do today is going to affect us in that Q1 and Q2. So this is why this is the time to schedule, to work on your business, your online presence, right? Your branding, your database, as all your past clients in your database, right? This is the time to do it. So we talk about the CMA Day Challenge. We're talking about Jimmy Burgess. He's a contributor with Inman News. Maybe you've heard of him. I'm just popping in the chat box real quick. Carmen said doable. Absolutely. I love that. Jimmy generated $11 million in listing business within 90 days. $11 million in listing business within 90 days. And this is when I say I love data, because you can work backwards, work the math backwards. So if we know, again, it can differ slightly between markets, but it's still very much doable. If we know that we can generate $11 million in 90 days by sending out 72 CMAs, if we know 72 CMAs can equal around $11 million in listing business, would we do it? 100%, right? Absolutely. Why wouldn't we do it? So we generate $11 million in listing business within that 90 days. He did 1 unsolicited CMA per workday. What's unsolicited mean? That just means they didn't ask for it, right? But it's valuable information, okay? So with holidays and days off, that totaled 72 CMAs done and emailed or mailed over that 90-day period, which directly resulted in more than $11 million worth of listings, okay? People are curious, but again, this math seems simple, but we tend to overcomplicate it. We think that we have to go through and give them an exact number of what their home is worth. Okay, change your mindset on that. It doesn't have to be that deep. We do not need to go that deep of a level with them right away. We're building a relationship. We're creating a conversation first. And if they raise their hand or they show interest, then we are going to go deeper, right? We're going to give them a much deeper level view of what that home value may look like. And you're going to notice that in these templates or examples that I'm going to show you, they're actually Zillow, Zestimates, and Redfin, and even Open Door. Okay, but it creates the conversation. So here's the thing: $11 million in listing business in 90 days through 72 CMAs. That's pretty powerful, right? So if you do a CMA a day, starting now, I don't know how many days are left for the end of the year, but it's probably at least 72. Do that now. Imagine what your Q1 and Q2 could look like, right? Even if half of that, say you got $5 million in listing business, would that substantially change the trajectory of your business for 2024? Would that substantially change your GCI in income? Would that help you and your family, right? But we tend to overcomplicate it. So let's continue here. And click. All right, so begin with understanding that we will specifically target 3 main groups with these CMAs. And it's just not limited to these 3 groups, but maybe it's people who have told you they were interested in selling within the next year or 2. Okay, maybe you talked to them at an open house or wherever the source was, right? They told you that they may be interested in the next year or 2, maybe, right? They're saying, oh, if I sell, interest rates, where am I going to move into, right? They had that conversation. That's not a no. Okay, there's just some other variables, hurdles that they need to get over before they can actually sell. Also, past buyer clients who live in a home that you sold to them. Okay, so all your past clients. I would, in the last, let's say within the last 3 years, if you've sold a home to someone in the last 3 years, absolutely send them an update, right? Send them one of these simple CMAs. That's where you could start. Your past clients. Okay, or maybe it's homeowners in your area, your neighborhood where you live. Or maybe you've met through different marketing activities, or maybe your farm. Maybe you're targeting your farm. I did a training like this a few weeks ago in Flagstaff, Arizona, and we talked about their neighborhood, where they actually live. The weather's beautiful right now. Okay, so maybe you're going in and actually delivering these to them. Okay, but who are you going to send this to? Honestly, anybody you know that owns a home. Okay, you guys have the largest database. As realtors, we have the largest database of homeowners. Is that not true? Right? Through MLS, our MLS, we have access to everyone that basically owns a home in that, wherever you sell, right? Wherever your local market is. So it's not a limit of people that you know who own a home. It's a limit of us taking the action to actually deliver them something of value. Okay, because thousands and thousands and thousands of people, okay, we know that own a home. So prospecting with simple CMAs. I challenge you with the CMA Day Challenge through the end of the year, okay? Today's Monday, commit to 5 this week, right? 1 a day. Maybe you do all 5 today. As when you see how simple they are, you could do all 5 today and then kick back. Or if you really want to kill it, do 5 today and then start tomorrow with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go the next day, right? But if you guys can at least commit to a CMA a day for the first 5 days, you are more likely to wake up next Monday and say, I'm going to do it again, right? Commit to yourself, commit to your family, commit to your why, that you're going to challenge yourself with this and do 1 for the first week. And after you accomplish that, you're going to feel amazing. And you're going to be like, God, that wasn't bad at all. I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to do it again, right? Through the end of the year. Send 1 or more simple CMA each day as part of your prospecting strategy. it's interesting because every time I talk to agents, and when I was in Flagstaff a few weeks ago, I asked who here has a prospecting strategy or schedule. Okay, there was one agent who he's killing it there, that he does his prospecting from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. every day. 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. No distractions. He's had conversations with his family. This is the time that, dad is working, in a sense, okay? So you could do something similar. Maybe, do you guys set time aside to actually prospect? And you could do these simple CMAs during that time period. So maybe it's 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Maybe it's 9 to noon. Maybe you're better in the afternoons or evenings, whatever works for your schedule. But remember that C word, consistency, matters. Okay, consistency matters. So each day, part of your calendar, your schedule, you're going to be, 7 a.m. to 10, whatever it may be, right? This is, again, the time to look at that and plan for the new year. If you don't have a prospecting schedule or strategy now, this is the time to do it so that you're ready to go for the new year. Of course, this is going to create more revenue generating conversations, right? Maybe the simple CMAs are going to spark interest. Maybe it's going to create curiosity. Maybe it's not the person who you're directly sending this to. And when they say, yeah, if I had the right number, maybe I would sell, but we're not looking right now. Cool. No rush. I'm in no rush. But do you know anyone that would consider selling or has expressed interest in selling? We always forget that follow-up of a referral. Do you know anyone? You'd be surprised how many more connections you make with that. Right? That one person you're sending it to is just the first part of the web or spider web, right? Of a network that's actually going to send you more referrals. Okay. I'm ready to blow some minds on how simple these are. So one of the ways that you can send a simple CMA is simply just the screenshot. So it's very hard to see this, and I'm going to show you guys in the template once we jump into Canva. I can show you guys that template. But this is a screenshot that I took from my phone from Zillow. So I went on, and I know we all feel a certain way about Zillow, whatever it may be, but they're part of the industry, they're part of the game, so let's leverage it, okay? A lot of homeowners go there to look at the Zestimate, so let's leverage it. We're creating curiosity. So I went to Zillow for a specific address, looked up the address, scrolled down, took a screenshot of it, and that's what I'm texting, right? I'm not sending a giant notebook or binder or RPR or multi-page CMA. I'm not going super deep. I'm creating a conversation. So you could text or email this, right? Text is always better, but we don't always have the emails or phone numbers. It depends, right? Where you're getting the data from. Okay, maybe it's a farm, you don't necessarily have their phone. But this could be the simple message. Hi, Kimberly, here's a snapshot of what Zillow thinks your home is worth. I have my opinion, but I'm curious about yours, right? Pause. It's just like when you're on the phone calling someone, and when you're having that conversation and you're talking a million miles an hour and you're not pausing and letting them talk. Okay, it's the same for when we're written communication. Say what you need to say, pause, and don't say anything else and let them respond. Okay, so hi Kimberly, here's a snapshot of what Zillow thinks your home is worth. I have my opinion, but I'm curious about yours. Send it and wait for that response. Okay, of course they're going to have an opinion, right? Maybe it's too low. Maybe it's higher than they thought. Depends on what their mindset is and what their home is with. Okay, but you're creating that conversation, and something simple like this you could do quickly in multiple. I mean, you could do 5 of these in 30 minutes. Not a whole lot of time. Okay. Another one, the list of values. So this is a template that I've created that I have several top agents in both Arizona and Vegas that use this template, and teams that leverage this as well. It's a simple list of values, okay? Now, again, the text or email depends on what information you may have. But again, very simple. Hi, Kimberly, here is a snapshot of what some think your home is worth. I have my opinion on these, but I'm curious about yours. So saying that, they're going to respond with what they think those are. And then they're going to inherently, based on experience from what I've seen, say, what do you think? Right? And then you're going to go in and say, well, honestly, I looked a little bit, right? You're gonna research a little bit. I looked into it. I think they're kind of low. I think definitely Open Door is low, right? I think they're kind of low. I think you're more in the 525. Would it be okay if I send you a little bit deeper level view of what your home value is? And would you mind just answering a couple questions? Any upgrades, right? And then you go into that conversation. This simple CMA method and ideology is all around just sparking more conversations, sparking curiosity. You're not overloading them with information right away. You're just starting that conversation. It's a lot easier. So Zillow, of course, these are all public information. So where did I get these numbers? I just went to Zillow.com, entered in the address of where I was sending this to, and I got that value there. Same with Redfin. Now, how in the world can you get an Open Door valuation? Okay, a little secret here. If you go to Realtor.com, and I'll show you guys this. If you go to Realtor.com and you put in an address, they actually display an estimate from Open Door. Okay, because of course, if you go to opendoor.com and you put in an address or a number, right, it's going to send out something and you have to go through the whole process. But interestingly, Realtor.com, you can get the Open Door estimate straight from there. So again, very simple. This is a textable image. You can send it via email, or the next one, video. Okay. So I've done YouTube Shorts trainings. You could use this on Instagram Reels or just your native camera on your phone, but the video play. Okay, so you go through and you create this, whether it's a screenshot of the CMA template that's shown in this slide, or a screenshot behind you of the Zillow Zestimate that I showed in the first one. Okay, you can't really see it in there, but I'll show you more once we get into the templates. Maybe that's behind you. Okay, these green screens, this is done on a green screen in YouTube Shorts. I love YouTube Shorts because now they allow you to download the video if you wanted to, and you can simply send a link to that video. Now, when you create this YouTube short video on YouTube, I highly recommend making it unlisted, right? Because it's property specific. You don't just want everybody to be able to see this on your YouTube channel. So when you go through, I would highly recommend making it unlisted. And you can simply just send that link to whoever you're, whether it's text or email, wherever it may be. You can simply just send that link to them. But you can see here, and if you, just like what the team was saying earlier, you can always go to the YouTube channel and watch the video that we did on YouTube Shorts. But this is a screenshot of the YouTube Shorts. On the right-hand side, if you see this little person here, that's the green screen. So when you hit that, your background turns all green. You're visible still. And down in the bottom, it's going to show your camera roll from your phone. And then that's where you would select the screenshot that you took or the image that you want to display behind you. And then you simply just record maybe something like this. Hi, Michael. Here's a snapshot of what some think your home is worth. I have my opinion on these, but I'm curious about yours. Boom, done. Super short, super simple. Does someone have a question? I'm gonna pause. Any questions or feedback so far? Okay, I'm just gonna mute some of these just because I was getting some feedback. Okay, so far, just the screenshot, whether it's Zillow, Realtor.com, whatever it may be, right? Again, we're just sparking interest and conversation. And then you got the list of values, okay? I'm gonna share this in the chat with you guys so you can use it in your business. It's fully editable, whatever you wanna do with it. Of course, just make sure everything you do is compliant, okay? So wherever you are, you obviously wanna display your brokerage. If you need to display your license number, whatever you need to do, it's fully editable in Canva, you can do that. Okay, and then the video play. We know video, short form video is where consumer attention is. We consume it, that's what we prefer currently. Okay, so the video is super, super powerful. And again, YouTube Shorts are amazing for that. Maybe it's the mailer. So, okay, remember this is a textable template. You can even email this, whatever you want to do. This is sized differently. But if we go into the CMA, the mailer, maybe you're door knocking, maybe you're giving this to your neighbors, maybe in your farm, maybe you want to send this out, depends, right? Strategically identifying properties that are likely to sell and sending this in a non-traditional envelope is a great CMA a day method. Now, a couple of things, let's break that down. Non-traditional envelope, what does that mean? That means we're not sending it as a postcard. It's going in, it's getting tri-folded into an envelope that's maybe black or glittery gold or red or orange, right? Something different with a stamp on it, because I say 99.9% open rate, but virtually it's 100. Okay, so if you receive a letter in a non-traditional colored envelope with a stamp on it, you are opening that. Okay, we're breaking through that noise, that direct mail noise. There is a huge opportunity in direct mail right now because there's so much digital noise. You just need to be strategic about it. Okay, postcards work, don't get me wrong, postcards work. It's a long-term game though, right? And I want to make sure that whoever I'm sending this to is going to open it and it's not going to get thrown away. Okay, so you could and I'll give you guys this one too. This is 8.5 by 11, right? You can print it, and again, you can swap out. Now, when I did the training in Flagstaff, somebody said, well, if I don't want to do open door, can I just swap that out? Absolutely, they're fully editable. Maybe you do realtor.com, whatever you want to do, right? You can swap out these icons, you can swap out the name, the valuations, whatever you want to do. You can swap out the message here. It's fully editable. But this at least gives you an opportunity for a mailer size. Maybe you did an open house, and the next day, during that open house, you spoke to 3 people who owned in that community, and now you're going to go give this to them, right? Within 24 hours, you're going to deliver a simple CMA. Okay, and it just creates that conversation. You just want to be strategic. Of course, we're probably not going to send this to somebody that just moved in the last 6 months. Okay, maybe they've owned, maybe you're targeting a certain farm or area, and maybe they've owned for 6 years. You're gonna first target people who've owned 6 to 7 years in a specific area. Okay, and then you could do that. You just be strategic with who you guys are sending this to, right? Simple CMA, or if you're gonna go with a long traditional yellow book size CMA, don't recommend on the first go, but you want to be strategic with who you're actually sending this to. So what I would ask you before I dive into Canva and to show you guys these templates, and I'll show you guys the realtor.com and Zillow and everything where I get this information. But I take a screenshot of this. I empower you guys to identify 11 people you can send a simple CMA to. You could honestly do this today. You could literally do it today, okay? 11 people. You can see it doesn't take a whole lot of time to swap out this information. You're not diving super deep, okay? 11 people. Can we identify 11 people today, this week? I would definitely do it by the end of the week, okay? And then you're going to execute on that list and use one of the 3 methods that we discussed. I know there's agents on the call that have been going in on video content, and I just love it. It's amazing. So maybe you guys are going to give video a try and send a simple CMA like this, okay? Or maybe you try a mailer. Maybe you're doing an open house, or you're just going to go through your past clients. And each of your past clients are going to get one of these that you sold a home to and they currently live there. Or you're just going to send them a text. If you have their phone number, you're just going to send them a quick text and be super simple. You obviously can change the verbiage here, but we have tested and have found that a message like this has given us the best response. Has absolutely given us the best response, okay? We don't need to overcomplicate it or be too wordy with that there. So 11 people, quickly in the chat box, can we send out 11 simple CMAs this week? Are you able to do that? Can you commit to that? Okay, remember earlier I said 92% will not take action. I do not want that to be us. I do not want that to be us, right? We have to take action. We owe it to ourselves. We owe it to our business, our families, whatever our why is. all that good stuff. Maria, I'm going to share it with you guys right now. All right, let me come into here. Right, here we go. Take the action to make your dreams become your reality. It's difficult. Trust me. I've been there. We've all been there. I've been part of the 92% more than once, right? We've all been there. But it is time that we capitalize on our dreams and our why, and we got to make it happen. Marilyn can do. I love it. Okay, so here's the template for the text one. Okay, now this is a screenshot that I showed you guys earlier. I just wanted you to see it in a larger screen. So I just went to Zillow, and this is my childhood home that I used. But I just went there, typed Zillow, typed in that address, and then scrolled down so I could see that Zestimate. Okay, this isn't part of the template, but I just wanted you guys to see that larger from a mobile view. And I just took a screenshot of this portion. Just below that, it said estimated net proceeds because Zillow thinks it knows, mortgage stuff. Sometimes it's accurate, sometimes it's not. So it depends on what you want to send. You could screenshot this up or crop it up so it just shows this portion here. Okay. Again, very simple. We're just creating conversations. That's all we're doing. Up here is a template, fully editable. You guys want to change the text? This is all done in a free canvas. You don't need to upgrade to the pro version. If you don't want to, it's fine. This is all done. I'm pretty sure all these elements are in the free version. If not, there's easy ways to swap out the free. But if you're not familiar with Canva, you're opening it up just like this. When I show you guys the template, you're going to click the link and then open it up, and I'll show you that in a second. But as you hover over, you're going to notice that there's purple boxes going around certain elements. Okay, but they're fully editable. So let's say I want to swap out my photo. I would just go to my uploads and find another photo. Let's just find someone in here that I have. Look at that, Debbie DeGrow. So I'm going to click over here, and I'm going to drag this over, and it's going to maybe pop in there. Okay, there it is. So I just click and drag over and swap it out. You can obviously put your name up here at the top, your brokerage, your phone number, anything you want to change in here is fully editable. I've already got the MLS and Equal Housing logo there, maybe your brokerage logo, maybe you need your license number in there as well, but just know this is fully editable. Notice that when I hover over this and I click it, it says ungroup because I've grouped these all together just so that they don't get unaligned. But if I click into one of these, double click, I can change the value. So if I wanted to do, okay, I can change the name up here. I can change colors. I just match the brand colors, right? Because consumers are going to recognize that. Okay, so you can swap that out. If you wanted to swap out the logo for something else, you of course need to upload it here on the left-hand side, and then you would just drag it over and pop it in there just like I did for the headshot there. I'm gonna go back here real quick, just so when I share this with you guys, it's like that. Okay, so if I clicked on group, you see how it all turns purple, and I click over here. Now these are all individual. So know that if I move this, it's only gonna move that one element. As opposed to if it was all together, right? It's all moved together. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, again, up here, I double click into the address, and that's where I can swap the address. Obviously, the address should match whichever one you're sending through there. Okay, so that's the textable version. I'm going to pop this. Let me go back to the very beginning. So there we go. Share, template link, copy. All right, this is going into the chat box. So you have time to click on that. When you click on that, I'll show you here. It's going to look something like this. You're just going to say use template, and then it will allow that to go right into your Canva account. Okay. All right, so that's the textable version. Now, if you want the 8.5 by 11 for a trifold, virtually the same thing, right? You're just going to go through and you're going to swap out anything. I'll show you guys where you can get the open door valuation, but you can come in here and edit the message if you wanted to. This says Flagstaff currently because I didn't swap it out for SoCal for you guys, but just make sure you swap out, obviously, whatever market, whether it's a subdivision, a city, a zip code, whatever it is, you just want to make sure you swap out that information. But fully editable, okay? Of course, you want to personalize it with that homeowner's name, address, and then all of your information, agent info down here at the bottom. You can absolutely go through and add that in there. So I'm going to share this as well, template link. All right. Those that showed up today are at least getting this out of it, right? All right, so you can go in and have that one as well. Now let's take a look at some of the valuations. So all I did is I'd go for the Zillow one. We've all been to Zillow. And I just typed in that address. Oops. And look, it's even changed, right? It's changed from what it was before. So when I did this a few weeks ago, it was 510, and now we're down to 499.8. Okay. So obviously it can change. And that's why also at the bottom, I have valuations as of, right? That little asterisk there. Okay. So you can always save that there as well. Okay. So you can go there, and this is just where I got my valuation because I wanted to match, because consumers are going there, they're going to Zillow, they're looking wherever it may be, they're going to look at those valuations. So you can come in here and get that. This is more for the mobile view. Remember that screenshot I showed you, but I did it on my cell phone so you can actually see it. Okay, but that's where you'd get that. Same for, what was the other one on here? Redfin. So Redfin, super easy. We've all been there before, hopefully. But again, I just typed in property address. Okay, this is a lot easier than going super deep. We're not going super deep right away. We're creating the curiosity, we're creating the conversation, and we're doing these, substantially quicker. So if I scroll down, right, 506,990, what was it before? Okay, slightly more before. So it's gone down a little bit. Again, if you don't want to use Redfin, you can swap this out for another industry valuation. I had an agent that said, well, what about just my own? If I just wanted to pull one, cool. If you want to spend time, do your own. Just maybe add your initials here or whatever it may be, and just put my valuation or my estimate, or, Marilyn, you're the brave one to be on camera. Maybe it's Marilyn's estimate, right? Maybe you could put your name in there, whatever it may be. But you guys can obviously swap those out. Okay, so you can go there. Now, for the open door one, I go to realtor.com. It already has this address in it that I use past. Okay, and I'm going to click search. Now, when I click search, on the left side, if I scroll down, estimated offer by open door. Isn't that amazing? Estimated offer by open door. So think about that. You don't need to go through the whole open door process. How accurate is that? Well, it's just about as accurate as estimate, right? And all these other high level views, but you're getting it from a source. Okay. Okay. And it says estimated offer by open door 463,998. So then you can simply take that number there, and that could be the open door estimate if they were curious about that, right? Again, you can swap it out for any other. Maybe you're just going to do realtor.com. Okay, it depends on what you want to do. But 463,998, I'm just curious. Okay, again, so overall, these estimates have gone down in the last 2 weeks. Open door has actually gone up by a couple thousand. Interesting, right? So you can always go, if you're ever curious or you're going to a listing appointment, whether you use it for the simple CMA or not, if you're going to a listing appointment, you can simply go to realtor.com. And if they're like, well, we were thinking about maybe a cash offer or whatever it may be, you could be like, well, I already looked into open door and they're estimating about 463,998. So you're leaving money on the table. You're leaving money on the table, right? You go into that conversation, all that good stuff there. So realtor.com can get you your open door valuation. Now, did I put this one in there already? Let me check the chat box. I think I did. Yeah. So the first link, right, is your textable one in there, template. And then the second one is that 8.5 by 11. And since we talked about video a little bit, I'm going to go to YouTube real quick. Actually, I'm just going to go through here. And I'm going to find that YouTube short video to send you guys, because I encourage you to take advantage of video. When you go to our YouTube channel, let me throw this in there as well. In case those that have been on, don't go there. There we go. Once you're here, if you scroll down, you can click the little magnifying glass here for search, and you can just type in anything, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is. We've done several trainings. We got 23 videos on here right now, and it just continues to grow. Please subscribe so you don't miss any of those videos. But I typed in YouTube, how to optimize your channel, YouTube Shorts for real estate. Here it is. You can come through here. I'm gonna paste this link in there for you guys. Just throwing you all the links today. If you wanted to see how you could take advantage of YouTube Shorts or just short form video content, we actually go through a whole walkthrough, even the green screen that you saw in the example that we used for this here. Okay. All right, I'm going to pause there for a second. Any questions on anything we've gone over today? Feedback, branding, marketing in general? Do we feel like this is valuable? Do we feel like we could do simple CMAs, right? Do we feel like we could challenge ourselves to change our mindset that when we're prospecting, it doesn't have to be as complicated as I'm preparing a very deep level valuation on your property, right? We're in the business to create conversations. We got to create more conversations. We got to put ourselves in a position that will put us in front of more homeowners, right? Buyers are important too, okay? But we know there's, the future of real estate and with the whole NAR thing that's going on and lots of changes happening. So, we got to make sure that we are positioned so that when these changes, they're already happening, but when, they're in full effect or no matter what way the industry is taking us, we have a solid prospecting strategy. We have a schedule and a method of how we're actually going to create more business. We're not waiting around for the business. We're not waiting around for the market to turn, right? We're going out and we're creating the market. We're going out and we're creating those conversations that will help us grow our business. So I challenge you guys. Remember, the challenge was 11 this week. Can you do 11 this week? Simple CMAs. You could do one a week or one a day this week, right? Do 5. I guarantee you, if you did one a day this week, you wake up Monday, you are going to be more apt to do it again, right? We feel great when we accomplish something. So I encourage you guys, I challenge you guys to do this this week, right? Whether it's one a day or you do 5 today or 11 today, whatever it is, it's being in that 8%. I believe you all to be in that 8%. And to take that challenge on. Carmen said yes. And can we get templates from the link? Correct. In the message box, Carmen, if you scroll up, I'm going to keep this meeting chat open. If you scroll up and click those links, you're able to get those. Okay. I'll share them with the team too, and maybe we can get those out or however you guys want to do that. Okay.
Yeah, we can send that out. No problem.
Yep. So just if you scroll up right now, I'll keep the chat box open for a few minutes while we close this up, and I can answer any other questions, guys. CMAs in general, branding and marketing. This is still a great time to, your online presence is important, right? Because when you start communicating and having more conversations, people are going to look you up. So what's your Google business profile look like? What's your website look like? Is your headshot from 5 years ago, right? More times than not. Did your website change? Are the links not correct? Right? So you got to go through and do your online presence audit as well. HGTV lied to us. $1 million listing lied to us, right? We never got into this business thinking that it was necessarily easy, but we love it, right? We got in it for a reason. We have to go back to our why. I always encourage in Q4 to make sure that you look at your why. Maybe it's change. Maybe you got in business for more freedom, more time with your family, money, whatever it may be, right? It evolves over time. So you have to go back. Those days, remember I said earlier, we have off days. We're human. We have off days. But we have to push through. We have to push through, right? No one else is going to push us through than ourselves. We have to. But our why can motivate us and get us from A to B. So we just have to remember that. Any other questions, guys? Was this helpful? Do you feel like you can implement this? Did you get at least one piece of value out of here that you wrote down, something that resonated with you that you can actually take and implement into your business?
Yes.
Cool. I love it. All right, let's look here. What do we got going on next week? We've got become the local authority. So next week, we're going to talk a lot about digital farming. Okay, this includes your online presence. We're going to talk a little bit about that, but we pay money for direct mail. We talked about postcards. Again, they work, but with the amount of people that we can reach online, is substantially more economical. Thousands more that we can reach. Different ways that you can do digital farming, right? Whether it's targeted ads or offering an ebook or a one pager on, the moving process or reasons why you should move to your local market, whatever it may be. Okay, so we're going to dive into that. And then the day before Halloween, how content marketing can change your business in 2024. Content is massive. We talk a lot about video content. We are consuming content at an enormous rates and levels. So, but how can that change your business, right? You're providing value. We have to change our mindset that we are educators to the consumer. Why would somebody move to your local market? What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? What do they need to know before moving to your market, right? What they need to know when they're selling, all that good stuff. So content is going to continue to be a massive part of your business. We're not talking just about blog posts and stuff like that, but really core educational pieces that can help the local consumer. All right, let's run through this. Great info. Cool. Already updating the form. I love it. Look at Maria going. Maria's in the 8%. Who else is going to be in that 8%? Right? Vivian's going to be in that 8%. All of you. Helen, everyone. I love it. Awesome, guys. So make sure to go to eoguniversity.com, register for next week, register for 10:30. I am working on November's. I'm probably going to release November, December at the same time, only because as we get closer to the holidays, it becomes more and more difficult to attend these. So I'm going to try to make them as juicy as possible so that you guys can, again, finish the year strong and have something to implement in to make sure that your beginning of next year is solid. So I really appreciate you guys. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to us. Don't forget, Escrow Options Group is the best option. Please, please, please let us work with you and your clients on your next deal. So Kim, anything else you want to say before we close out?
Just thank you so much. That was wonderful. I learned some new things too, as always, whenever you train us. And for anyone out there, if you guys need any additional information, please don't hesitate to reach out to your rep or whoever invited you. We're all here and we're happy to help you guys. We want to see the most success you guys can have prepping for 2020.
I love it. Thank you guys so much. Happy Monday. I hope it's an amazing week, and hopefully we see you guys in escrow very, very soon.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Take care, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.